I knew in December of 2020 that January 6th, 2021 was going to happen. Let me tell you why. We're now all sort of clicking into how Steve Bannon used the Q pizza stuff and used the message board over there, the 4chan message board, to disseminate that whole thing and to basically brainwash this mega cult. What happens after that? After the message boards started, that information gets picked up and then it gets pushed out to these lower level podcasters, these mega podcasters. They don't have millions of subscribers. It's mostly on YouTube. But they have hundreds of thousands, each one of them. And they are connected to Steve Bannon and this other guy named Juan Savin. And he never shows his face, but he has obviously been at the White House and been in meetings with Trump and with like the Trump campaign and stuff like that. And he goes on all these podcasts and then spreads whatever information talking point that they want. Then all of those ones, they're always on the same page. I noticed it at the time when I was watching some of them. And it was just like, they all say the same thing, but in a different way. So it's orchestrated. And I don't even know if those guys know it's orchestrated, because I think they think they're getting inside information, but they're getting fed the same information, the same talking point directly from Trump world. And so when I saw them, they were talking about this. They interview Michael Flynn, a bunch of people from the campaign on these podcasts of these people. And they were talking at the time in December about going to the Capitol, about going to DC, and about what ended up happening. They were talking about what they were going to do and that it was going to be a day of reckoning and all of this stuff. And we've all seen that viral clip of Steve Bannon on his podcast where he said like, oh, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be, but that was right before it happened. And I'm telling you, I was watching them talk about this in December. They were talking about this. It was planned the whole time. The whole Mike Pence card they were talking about, so they have a whole ecosystem where they spread their propaganda, and then they have this lower level tier of podcasters that they give the information to, so they all feel like they're like in the know, and then those people spread it to the higher up podcasters, and that gets spread to Fox News and all over regular people's social media. Do you see what I mean? It's a complete ecosystem that they've set up. It is a propaganda pipeline that they have. It's nuts. And to find out that JE was at the center of it, that's crazy. But it does make sense where all the money came from. We are up against an actual propaganda machine.